Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. Here's the story. My ex-wife had an affair and left me roughly 7 years ago. As a result, I ended up raising our daughter mostly on my own for the past 6 years. Around 2 years ago, my ex expressed interest in reconnecting with our daughter, largely due to the fact that she and her affair partner couldn't start the family she hoped, and I've let them bond again. Now my child spends weekends at her mother's place. Recently, I decided to get my daughter a car to make her commute safer and easier. However, when I mentioned it to my ex-wife, she objected because her stepdaughter, who is the child of her affair partner, would be upset about not having a car herself. Despite her objections, I went ahead and got my daughter a safe and affordable car with insurance and AAA. As expected, my ex's stepdaughter was upset, so my ex suggested my daughter and the stepkid share the car. But I refused because legally it's mine, and it's not my responsibility to provide for her stepkid. My ex then accused me of not helping and hung up. So am I the a-hole for not letting my daughter's stepsister share the car, even though they can't afford to buy one for her, since money is tight? I believe it's not my problem, and legally, the car belongs to me. OP, there's a lot of gray area here, but in the end, yeah, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Considering the shared custody and having to take the bus, yeah, your daughter has a greater need for the car than her half-sister. If the older sister is in a similar situation with her father, well, she isn't your responsibility, especially given your edit. It's also a legitimate concern about trusting the older sister. The thing is though, you probably caused some strife in your daughter's home life. In the end, it probably doesn't amount to much because it seems like you don't really know the sister well. And that's another problem if that assumption is correct. Your kid or not, that is your daughter's sister, and you should at least take a bit of consideration. But again, it's all a gray area. But if you feel you can do anything at all to make the situation better, you probably should. But you really haven't done anything wrong. Now for some comments. Wow, this is a tough one. Basically everything everyone said was reasonable here. But I think we have to go outside your arguments and hers here. Learning to drive is a really important skill as an adult. This is the perfect time for her to learn, and it's just too valuable of a skill to skip because it hurts someone else's feelings. I think mom is a tiny bit the a-hole here because her attitude would hold the daughter back from learning the skill. Not the a-hole, though I really do see her points. I think it's going to be very important that you talk to your daughter about not flaunting the car or being obnoxiously excited about it in front of her sister. That can be another adult lesson. I think it's the perfect opportunity for older sister to learn she's not entitled to something her younger sister has. She can ask younger sister for rides and they can learn how to work out arrangements if younger sister agrees to rides with gas money, etc. Mother needs to understand it's her responsibility to tell older sister just because younger sister's dad gets her a car doesn't mean older sister is entitled to use it. I'm going to go against the grain here. I don't think you're an a-hole, but I do think you don't fully appreciate the situation at hand. Buying your daughter a car is totally fine, but understand the ramifications this could have with her relationship with her half-sister. You're creating an environment that could turn toxic quickly. I'm an older half-sibling. My dad was a lot like you. I got a lot growing up that my younger siblings never received from their father. It created a difficult environment and a strained relationship, particularly with my younger sister. The perception that I was favored and the privilege I had of driving, owning my own computer, having a brand new cell phone, etc., permanently damaged my relationship with my sister. We're not close as adults, and she resents me. Maybe your daughter and her sister would be more mature, but buyer beware here. I fully understand why your ex was hesitant about this gift. Story 2. I, 24 female, have a friend 26 female who has always been avidly child-free. I've known her for 12 years and she's always hated kids and talked shit about babies. I personally don't mind that she's like this, although it is annoying when she goes on rants about how ugly people's babies are, and I've known her to call toddlers assholes. I know this sounds unbelievable. Trust me, I feel like I'm not in real life. She texted all of our friends last week to say that she's having a very important dinner and she needs everyone to come. This is 15 plus people. In a smaller group chat, she told me and 3 other girls that she's expecting a new arrival and she wants to announce it at the party. We were all super shocked, but very happy for her. She was very evasive with questions, but I honestly just assumed she was feeling weird about being pregnant or admitting she had decided to have a child after all. And I brushed it off. So we all got to this dinner party at a local restaurant. She stands up to make a speech saying, "As well as I can remember, I'm really excited to announce that we are expecting not 1, but 3 new arrivals." Everyone was shaking until she handed out the ultrasounds, and they looked nothing like babies. We all looked at her confused when she said, "Princess, her cat, has been a naughty little girl and is blessing us with 3 little ones. I'm sure you are all super excited to meet the babies and there will be a naming party when they're here." I think the last part was a joke, but needless to say, most of us were quite pissed she did this. 2 of the women there have been very vocal about having fertility issues. I'm also pregnant and so are other 2 girls there. I feel like this whole thing was set up to belittle the fact that most of the people in the group, ranging from my age to mid-30s, are settling down and having kids. One of the women with fertility issues actually left upset soon after, and the other one just after her. I called a cab after I'd eaten my meal and left early. I immediately blocked her on everything because I'm sick of her being so anti-kid, especially when she was addressing multiple people who are pregnant and struggling to conceive. I sent a message in the smaller group chat saying that what she did was insensitive and disgusting, and she responded saying it was a joke and I should lighten up. And I obviously don't know her very well considering she has been very vocal about not wanting to meet my baby. I heard from a friend who stayed that she ended the party with a toast to still hating human spawn. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting because of the baby or if this was genuinely terrible. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, OP. This is a bit much. It would be one thing if you and her other friends had the type of relationship where you all made jokes and pranked each other, but she wasn't upfront about the reasoning of the party. Deliberately misconstrued things to give the impression that she herself was pregnant and not her cat. I think even without inviting women who are experiencing fertility issues, that would make me consider her an a-hole. Also, she felt the need to say she hates human spawn. It's one thing to make the decision to be child-free, to dislike the thought of parenthood, or to not enjoy the company of children. But I don't know why you would feel the need to say that in the presence of friends who have or who are starting families. It's gross. I don't think you're overreacting at all. If she wanted attention, she could have just thrown a general party. If she wanted to let everyone know she hates kids, I feel like she's probably already said as much. Now for some comments. I'm absolutely on board with not the a-hole. Do I want kids? No. Absolutely not. Do I like kids? For the most part, not really. Would I throw a party if my dogs got preggers? Hell, I throw parties for them just because I like them. This girl is actively pushing people into discomfort and even depression with her actions, and being a total D-bag while doing so. Not the a-hole. You should definitely have some sort of party with all of the people she's offended to celebrate the little ones who are either on the way or being wished for. I don't identify as child-free because I don't dislike kids or anything, but I don't want any of my own. I think even making it an event and going out to a restaurant is incredibly effing weird. Like sure, host your cat baby party at home, but it takes a lot of malice and or delusion to make your cat having kittens into a go for a sit-down dinner, give everyone a copy of the ultrasound kind of event. Not the a-hole. I will say I have a child-free friend who loves her cat, and I would not be at all surprised if she threw a party upon finding out her cat was pregnant. Not in a malicious way, she just really loves her cat and has a good sense of humor, and she's never been hostile about children as your friend has been. And also, sometimes toddlers are a-holes. All that being said, It sounds like your friend did this maliciously and you absolutely are not overreacting. No one needs that kind of toxicity in their lives. Story 3. So, my wedding was a week ago, and I'm still hearing about this horrible thing I've done. I need some final closure on it before I break somebody. My mother-in-law and her sisters have a song that they play and dance to at every family wedding without fail. I don't know the name of it. It's some deep water rap song from the 80s or 90s, and every other word is a cuss word. It talks about graphic sex and drug use, and I hate it. I'm not into music like that, and neither is my fiancé, but he doesn't say anything to her about it. I made sure to put it on our do not playlist for the DJ to double check that we wouldn't be hearing it. My mother-in-law and her sisters run to the DJ about halfway through and ask him to play it. He tells her no, as it's on our DNP list. She comes over to me and asks why I would do that. I told her that the lyrics weren't appropriate as I didn't want my young cousins and siblings and my super Christian grandmother to have to hear it. Her and her sisters told me it wasn't fair to them and that they always play it, and I don't have the right to cancel their tradition. I told them I wasn't going to argue with them at my wedding and that we could fight about it in the morning if it was so important. They sat down and didn't dance for the rest of the night. The only reason I feel bad is because we played other songs with swear words, but none nearly as graphic as the one they wanted. And it ruined the rest of their night because they were upset. However, I have gotten texts nearly 24/7 from them since the wedding saying stuff like, if I wanted to be accepted into their family, I need to accept them. And I have no right since the wedding isn't just for me and my husband, but for everyone else to celebrate too, etc. Finally, today I told them that if they texted me again without apologizing for harassing me this past week, that they would not be welcome to stay with us in our home again. They haven't responded, nor have they contacted my husband. He seems to think I overreacted by not letting them play the song, but says they are in the wrong simply because they haven't left me alone about it. So give it to me straight. Am I the a-hole for not letting them play the song? Not the a-hole, OP. Just looked up the lyrics to the song. It's one long, extended joke about domestic violence. If you were going to censor the inappropriate parts, you would be bleeping out the entire song. Even if it was the chicken dance, they wouldn't have a right to harass you over not playing it. But knowing what's in the song makes it a lot worse. I have a feeling the offensive nature of the song is what makes it fun for them. It's not about them enjoying the song, it's about a bunch of sexually frustrated older ladies dancing to a super crude song and shocking their new relatives by marriage. It's a power move, and they're bullies. Good on you for not caving. Good luck on your marriage. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. However, I would have talked to them about it beforehand and explained calmly the issue to prevent the situation. But what is done is done. By the way, I'm having a hard time imagining that your mother-in-law and her sisters were upset over a song like, how old are they? I'm shocked. If I can give you a piece of advice, wait a little to go back to the subject and tell them that song makes you uncomfortable. Explain yourself and let it go. I'm just suggesting this because it's your mother-in-law and you see her on holidays probably. Best of luck for you and congrats on the wedding. Seriously, I was on board the not the a-hole train before I read the lyrics, but after when I read them, I was honestly disturbed. It's a song that talks graphically about violent sex with hookers, and encourages wives to cheat on their husbands. I don't listen to music like that, but if that's your bag, fine, whatever. But it should be completely obvious to just about everyone that requesting a song that talks about rape, infidelity, prostitutes, anal sex, BDSM, and violence is inappropriate for most weddings, especially those with children present. If OP is correct that they do this at every wedding they go to, I wonder how many other people have been hurt or bothered by this. I have a pretty thick skin, but if I heard this song while celebrating my wedding, I would find out who requested it and cut them out of my life. The fact that somehow OP is being made out to be the bad guy in this scenario is beyond all reason and logic to me. It would have probably made most of the other guests walk away from your wedding with a bad taste in their mouth. If I was at a wedding and they played a song making reference to prepubescent girls' pubic hair, I would walk out and my opinion of the bride and groom would change. And I say that as a 23-year-old, you made the right choice. I went and actually read the lyrics after posting this and holy shit. Multiple references to anal sex, saying they'll leave floods of blood on your mattress. The entire song is literally nothing but a long description of graphic, violent sex. Also, I never thought I would read the sentence, while I'm hurting your ass just like a dentist. But there it was.